空と海が触れ合う彼方。
Excuse me while I set up. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of Adventures of a Lifetime. All I remember was the dark-haired girl was, she saved a camera for somebody by hopping in the water, and she got out of the water by having a dolphin basically push her to the surface and bounce her back. So we're gonna play a little bit of this. I wonder if I should, I don't know. I'll just keep going, I guess. I kind of want to rewatch her section, though. Let's load this one, and then I'll just kind of spit through it. So this was the scene with her. She rewards him with like a, whatchamacallit, juice box or something? A beach near Futamori Port. Since it's the closest beach to the port, it's popular with the tourists as well. Its beaches are made of coral dust, a local term for coral that has been ground to a sandy texture by the waves. Sometimes you can find lovely unbroken pieces of coral mixed in as well. Ogamiyama Park, an ocean-facing city park on Chichijima, comprised of the hilly Ogamiyama area and the flat section of central Omuro facing Futomi Port. It hosts a wide variety of natural environments. There are wooden stages during summer festivals, and the Bon Festival is held here. Hiroki Mizuno, at your service, and you are... Emily. Shirase. They met on the deck of the ferry. Yeah, so that was his reward for helping her out. If this was a girl from my class, I probably wouldn't freak out so much, but she was so beautiful. Is there any way to change the text? It'd be nice if you could change the color. If this was just a girl from my class, I probably wouldn't freak out so much, but she was beautiful. Doing my best to look casual, I took a few sips. It was only orange juice, but right then I felt like it was the best thing I'd ever tasted. I was probably thirstier than I'd realized. I'm gonna turn up the noises, because I've got my volume pretty low. And I'm sure it's low for you guys. Is that the highest it goes? I guess so. It's still pretty low. Don't worry, it was nothing. All I did was grab her hand and run. Back at Omura Beach, there's a little spot called Machiko's Cafe. My grandma runs it, and she's a really good cook. Come by sometime, if you'd like. That sounds good. Emily flashed me a bright smile before running away. Machiko. That's his grandma. Probably. Thank you, Hiro. She looked back at me one last time before waving and quickly running away. I watched her go until she was out of sight. She's really nice when she smiles. Compared to when I saw her on deck on the verge of tears, I thought the smiling face suited her better. I'm gonna try something. Hopefully it doesn't mess up any recording. Just want to see if I can get better. Yes, this is a game. No game mode? I don't know how to turn it on. Compared to when I saw her on the deck on the verge of tears, I thought the smiling face suited her better. So now we're going to get the part with the Missy again here. With that little adventure concluded, I headed to Futami Port. What was up with her anyway? I hope she wasn't a stowaway. She left the boat with the rest of us, so probably not. She didn't look like she caused trouble either. But still, I felt a nagging uncertainty. I'd gotten so worked up in helping her, I wasn't sure if that was even the right thing to do now. I'd thought about asking the people searching for her more info, but they'd already moved on. The port had been so busy before, but now it was almost deserted with only a few tourists milling about. Apart from the tourists was a girl standing alone, looking bored. She was around the same age as me, with a tan and a long black ponytail. Could that be her? She might be the person who was supposed to meet me here, but I wasn't so sure, so I was getting tired. I tried getting a little closer. Blah. Huh? Is it really her? I really can't tell. It'd been 4 years since I'd seen her. And people do change. I've grown more than 7 inches in that time, and probably look different in other ways too. Yep. Sumimasen. Excuse me. Huh? The girl's ponytail bounced as she turned to face me, with blank expression. Crap! That's the wrong person after all. Standing next to her this closely, it was obvious she was different from the person I was looking for. I was looking for a tomboy, not a cute young lady. Sumimasen, I'm sorry. My mistake. I tried to laugh off the mistake, but just then, I heard a cry of distress behind us. Ah! A woman dropped her camera into the sea while trying to take a photo of the ferry setting sail. Oh no, my camera! Wow, that's no way to start a vacation, huh? The fan service scene. Without another word, the girl beside me started taking clothes off. What the? She didn't stop at her jacket. I slipped out of the shorts too. I made an effort not to stare, but this wasn't something you saw every day. What the hell are you doing? Out in public, no less. To my surprise, she wasn't wearing regular underwear, but a bikini swimsuit. Hold these for a second. I'll be right back. Shoving her clothes into my hand, the girl with a tan and a ponytail kicked off her sandals and ran. Johto, where are you going? I gotta go get that camera. She said something like Johto to him, too. By the water's edge, the woman paced back and forth, worried about her camera. The girl casually ran right past her. And with a jump? What? She dove right in. She just dove off? I was shocked and confused. I found myself staring down into the sea, alongside the woman who'd lost her camera. Oh my goodness, will she be alright? I have a feeling she'll be fine. She was always reckless, so I guess that hasn't changed. I said, mumbling my thoughts out loud. Now I knew it had to be her. After a few minutes, a hand holding a camera shot out of the water, followed by a head. Phew, Don't worry, ma'am. I found it. The woman stared in silent amazement. But the sidewalk was pretty high above the water's surface, so the girl couldn't climb back up. I just want to change the text window. So if I do no transparency, it's going to be very tough to read. I mean, I can read it, but if anybody wants to put this on silent, you know, that's still not very good. I'll just turn off the transparency every once in a while to see the full character portrait. I think there's a way to remove the text, but I don't know how to do it. Anyways, the sidewalk was pretty high above the water's surface, so the girl couldn't climb back up. She'd have to swim around to a place where she could climb up, or get someone to pull her up. Here, grab my hand! I reached toward the girl, who stared blankly for just a second before shaking her head. No, I'm okay. Stand back just a little. I did as she asked, a bit confused. Then with a mighty splash, the girl leapt right out of the water. A large animal, several times her size, leapt from the water with her. A dolphin. The girl used a boost from a dolphin to help her jump. A moment later, she was back on the shore. Ha, there we go. Back safe and sound. She said tadaima, which is like, I'm home. Meanwhile, the dolphin dove back below the waves, sending water everywhere. Hey, come on now. You did that on purpose. The dolphin poked its head up and gave a squeak that sounded a lot like laughing. Oh, that's enough of your jokes for today. It's nice to see you haven't changed too much, Chisa. You look different today, so I didn't recognize you at first, but there's only one girl I know crazy enough to dive into the sea like that. Ah, so that was you, Hiroki. We stared at one another for a moment longer, as a flood of memories finally helped us recognize each other. That was, without a doubt, my childhood friend, Chisa Ogasawara. And this, I believe this land is called Ogasawara. It was my childhood friend come to welcome me back. Hold on, I gotta return this. She gave the camera back to the tourist, who was still stunned, barely able to believe what she'd just seen. I just hope it's not broken. Thank you. I bought a waterproof one, so it should be fine. Glad to hear it. Excuse me, but are you the dolphin girl? Yeah, I guess I am. Chisa gave a forced smile. Onanoko, which is a girl. And she said, Yup, buddy! I thought so. I saw you swimming with the dolphin on TV. So then the dolphin just now. Yeah, that's Finn. Cute. I wasn't sure if Finn was responding to his name or not, but he let out a series of friendly squeaks. Kawaii, how cute. The woman started taking pictures of Finn on her smartphone and her recently recovered camera. It's good to know the camera still works, I guess. Chisa smiled warily and left the tourist to her photography. Well, anyway, it's good to see you again, Chisa.
久しぶりだね、ひろき。っ
You too, Hiroki.
ていうか、どこ行ってたのよ。待ってたんだからね。
But what took you so long? Do you know how long I've been waiting? Sorry about that. I was, feeling nostalgic, and so I went for a bit of a walk. I had a feeling that telling her I ran off with a beautiful girl I met on the boat wouldn't be doing me any favors.
そんなの後にしなさいよ。もう。
Jeez, you could have waited for me first. Chisa glared at me while wringing out her wet ponytail. The action made me feeling some kind of way, so I had to look away. As far as appearances went, she had changed a lot. Oops. The last time I visited Ogasawara, I was still in elementary school back then. Chisa could have easily been mistaken for a boy. But now, well...
どうした？
Huh? Is something wrong? That bikini was doing a great job of showing off her full figure. The healthy glow the sun had left on her tan skin made her look like she was bursting with energy. When we were kids, she always had a tan, but this was different somehow. No, not really. She's like barely tan, though.
変なの？
Alright, whatever you say. Finn looks like he's doing pretty well. Eager to change the subject, I looked over to the dolphin. Other tourists had joined the woman, and they were all snapping photos like their lives depended on it. A born showman, Finn was darting around, letting everyone get a good look at him. Chisa looked worried, though.
あんまり近づかない方がいいですよ。
Don't get too close, folks. But it was too late. Splash! With a flip of his tail, Finn sent a cascade of water over the assembled tourists. Yikes! A moment later, they were all drenched from head to toe. And as for Finn, he was laughing it up. He clearly found the whole thing hilarious. His sweet and innocent demeanor gone, he looked all too pleased with himself.
その子、性格歪んでるんで。
Sorry, he kinda has a twisted sense of humor. Finn sent a final spray of water our way before swimming off toward the open ocean.
でっかくなったね。顔もなんか男っぽくなって、最初誰かわかんなかったよ。
So I assume this is where I left off last time. So, she says, you're so big now. And you're more manly looking too. I had no idea who you were at first. I was thinking the same thing too, more or less.
そう？そんなに変わったかな？
Really? Do I really look all that different? Chisa glanced down at herself. She was partially dressed now, wearing her bikini, top, and shorts. Bikini top and shorts. Her well-defined curves were there for all to see, her skin glistening in the sun. It was quite obvious she had changed, but she didn't seem to realize it herself. Well, your hair's longer now.
そこか。
Alright. Change the subject. Yeah, hair. We continued chatting as we made our way to Grandma's house. Nope, it's her cafe. Machiko's cafe. It was a quaint cafe with an open terrace, so that the view could be enjoyed with food and drink served. It was usually open during lunch, but now there were no customers to be found.
声かけられた時、ナンパかと思っちゃったよ。いるんだよね。観光に来た人でさ。
When you called out to me, I thought you were just some random guy hitting on me. Happens a lot with the tourists. Sure it does. I was still finding it hard to believe how different my good friend looked now. How do you deal with guys like that?
彼氏いるからって言って断るかな。しつこい時はさっきみたいに海へ飛び込んで逃げる。
Karashi, I think his boyfriend. I usually turn them down, and I have to say I have a boyfriend. But if they're really persistent, I have to dive in the sea and swim away. She said while mimicking the dive she did earlier.
そのための水着だからね。
That's why I always wear a swimsuit underneath my clothes. Wait, what? So you wear a swimsuit all the time? Yeah. As Chisa struck a dramatic pose, her chest squeezed together, creating some impressive looks. Yeah.
どうした？
What's wrong? Nandemo nai desu yo. Nothing. I could feel the blood rushing to my face.
もしかして。
Wait, who are you? Chisa's gaze wandered down to her
な
chest.
わけないか。
Nah, that can't be it. Oh. Waiting for an answer, she went to the back door and called out to my grandma. Or without waiting.
ひろきがついたよ。
Excuse me. So without waiting, she went to call for the grandma.
マチコばあちゃん、ひろきがついたよ。
Machiko Obachan. Which is basically Grandma Machiko. Hiroki's here. There was no reply.
聞こえてないのかな。
Maybe she can't hear me. She probably doesn't want to get up since her legs have gotten pretty bad lately. Don't worry, I got it from here. I picked up my bags and entered the cafe. But when I did, I thought she was going to be dead or something. How dare you come barging in like this? I don't know what to do with her voice. Whoa! Obachan.
何しに来たこの悪ガキ。
What are you up to, you troublemaker? We talked on the phone, remember? I told you I was coming to help.
私は来るなって言ったはずだよ。
And I'm pretty sure I told you not to come. Grandmother raised her cane threateningly.
危ないよ、マチコばあちゃん。
Be careful, Miss Machiko.
船があるうちに帰れ。
Why don't you just hop on a boat and go back to where you came from? Watch it.
ばあちゃん、落ち着いて。
Just calm down, Grandma. Both Chisa and I couldn't get through to her, so we decided to make a strategic retreat. Geez, I was hoping she'd mellowed out a bit.
元気だよね。
I think she still has so much fight in her. Oh, I think it's great she still has so much fight left in her. Fight? More like full-on aggression. Aggression. My country's getting in there. Fight? More like a full-on aggression. She's a hazard to my health. A few years ago, my grandma passed away. Grandma wanted to keep the cafe going, but her legs couldn't keep up. She told me she was going to close shop this summer. Text is very hard to read where I am. A fictional open terrace cafe run by Haruki's grandma, Machiko. It's more of a diner than a coffee shop, and has a meal sets using locally gathered ingredients. It's a popular place for evening relaxation with the locals, but since Machiko's legs are getting bad, it's been set to close this year. Okay, so it's gonna close up. Yikes. Grandma wanted to keep the cafe going, but her legs couldn't keep up. She told me she was gonna close shop this summer. That's why I came back to Ogasawara, to help her out at the cafe one last time. Well, that was the plan. But I know how she is, so I wasn't surprised.
どうすんの？ばあちゃん頑固だから許してくれないかも。
So what now? You know how stubborn Grandma is. She'd never let you get back in. It's fine. I'll work something out. I'd actually come here knowing full well that this could happen. Anyway, where are we going next? With no place to stay, I followed Chisa around for a bit. Right now, we were in Chichijima's shopping district.
積もる話もあるし、お昼もまだだけど、これを先に済ませておかないとね。
It's still early, and there's a lot of catching up to do. But there's one thing we need to get out of the way first. And what would that be? Chisa stopped at one of the few supermarkets on Chichijima.
決まってるでしょ。買い出しよ。
Why, stocking up on supplies, of course. There were already a lot of customers bustling around inside. Oh yeah, today's Cargo Day. Cargo Day. The Ogasawara Islands are so remote, it takes 24 hours to get here from Tokyo. Yikes. That's a long time. So life here was a little different from the rest of my country. Or rest of the country. One big difference was Cargo Day. When ships came in on Cargo Day, locals flooded the supermarkets. The ships carried over tourists like myself, but also the food and supplies needed for their daily life. So on Cargo Day, everyone was in a rush to get the latest goods. They'd buy in bulk to stow away until the next shipment. You don't really think about that. No one wanted to risk having to go without. That's just the way it was. Hiroki, this takes me back. It was one of the enduring aspects of the Ogasawaran lifestyle. Did you just bring me along to help you carry stuff?
なんか言わないの。マチコばあちゃんとこの買い物リストも預かってるんだから。
No complaining, you know. We're searching for Machiko as well, you know. And my computer just had a really bad sound error.
セーブくらい自分でやりな。
No complaining. We're shopping for Machiko as well, you know. Chisa waved a shopping list in my direction. Picking up extra supplies was all in a day's work for a good neighbor like her. And if that's the case, I couldn't complain. Even if I had just gotten here, it was the least I could do. I followed Chisa into the battlefield known as the local supermarket.